Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. In this DIY, I will start out with 2 of these high cloche domes from Dollar Tree. Next up, I have this bottle of hairspray, and I'm not using it for the hairspray, I'm actually using it for the lid. This is all that I need from this, okay? Alright, so I'm just going to put this aside, remove the labels, and now I'm going to remove the bases. So I'm going to go ahead and spray paint these gold. And while they're drying, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next step with the dome. Alright, so let's get back to our domes. The next thing I want to do is take our little piece, our cap, from the hairspray and put it on top like this. You want to put it right in the center. Once you get it in the center, you want to mark it. This is the only marker that I could find. I'm going to turn it over and do this one. This will be the other part. Put it right in the center and go around it. I'm going to put a piece of tape on this one to remind me that this circle goes with the smaller side of my piece. So now I'm going to take my hot knife and cut just inside the circles. And now we're going to go inside the smaller circle. Okay, just like that. So now I'll take some alcohol and wipe it down. Get rid of the marker. Okay, so now I'm going to take my hot knife and just cut the top off of the cap. Okay, so now this is what we have. Now this one didn't fan out so well because I used acetone on it before, then I decided to use alcohol. So yeah, use alcohol. Next up, I'm going to use my Gorilla Glue, put it right around the circle. Okay, so now I'm going to take the wide piece of the cap and put it right on top. Make sure that it's centered. Okay, so I'm going to allow this to dry probably for an hour. Then we'll come back and put the other dome onto the top of this. Next, I remove the labels and the feet from 4 of the Dollar Tree square mirrors. I have 2 regular mirrors, and then I have 2 with the gold trim. Now, initially I wanted to use 4, but I only have 3 of these. So I had to work it out to where I could use 2 of the plain and 2 with the gold trim. And I'll explain exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm going to flip this back over, glue down some tower blocks. And I'm just going to line this up to make sure that it's even. Once you get everything even, go ahead and take some more of your glue, put it right on top of your blocks. Now I'm going to take one of my gold mirrors and put it on top of the plain mirror. Okay, and then just move it. You want to do that to both sets. Okay guys, so moving right along. Here's our base to our cloche. As you can see, I really didn't put too much spray paint around here. And that's because I'm going to add some gold mirror tile to it. I'm going to cut 4 rows. And I'm going to add a little bit more glue just to make sure that it sticks well. Take a popsicle stick and just smooth it out. Alright, take your gold mirror towel, pick it up, and just put it right on top of the glue. And make sure you line it up with the bottom of your base. Okay, and this is what we have. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and put some glue right around the inside of this piece. And I also glue the rhinestone right in the center to cover the hole. I'm going to go ahead and put this in place. Okay, just like so. Now I think I'm going to run one more row of the gold towel around here. So next up we have our sand. And this is from Dollar Tree as well. Now you can use color sand if you want to. I like the idea of the white sand. Okay, so this is not an actual hourglass because it will not take an hour for the sand to pour into the other side. It's just an idea of an hourglass. It's decor. I think I want a little bit more sand. Now it's up to you if you want to fill it all the way up, maybe just a little bit more. Go ahead and add some glue on the inside. And then pop this on top. Let's flip this over. Go ahead and wipe away the excess glue. And now off camera, I'll go ahead and put that one roll of mirror towel around here. And I'm going to add some mirror towel or some type of decoration around here to cover that board. Okay guys, I'm back. Unfortunately, my battery died right when I was trying to explain what I was doing next. Okay, so what I did was took 2 of these tower blocks, glue them together and glue them to the top because I need more surface space to get a really good contact with my bases, okay? So I did that on both sides. Alright, for now I want to go ahead and take 4 rolls of my gold mirror towel and put it here. I'm going to reinforce it with some of my Gorilla Glue. And as you can see, I've done it all the way around. So we have 2 sides like this and 2 sides like this. So eventually when I glue these together, it'll be like this. The matching gold on the bottom and then the matching gold on the top. When you flip it over, it's going to be like this. Next up, I have some of these bamboo skewers from Dollar Tree, the long ones. So what I did was put this together like this. Measure the height. Took my pliers and cut it. Alright, and just clean it up. Test it and see if it's too tall, so that's good. Then take some sandpaper and just smooth both ends off, okay? So then you'll have that. And then I cut another stick shorter. After that, I made a second one the same height. Then I did a third one here and here. Then I repeated that on the other side, so I ended up with a piece like this. I put it all together on some wax paper and glued it together. And it did stick a little bit here and there with the wax paper, so I cleaned that up. This is what we will have. 2 this size, 2 this size, and 1 this size. It's going to be just like this. And I'm also going to spray paint this gold and then cover it with glitter. Now here's one other thing I want to address about this. Now because of how it's put together, it's strong, but then it's not as strong as I want it to be. So I'm going to go out tomorrow to Michael's and purchase some 12 or 16 gauge wire. Hopefully they'll have it in gold. And I'm going to do a cute little design and I'm just going to reinforce it with the wire. And I'll be gluing it down with something that's going to give it more strength in the neck area. And it's going to make it a little bit more decorative. Okay guys, so back to my hourglass. Honestly, I took this apart because it was just too much sand for me. So I took it apart and took some of the sand out and then glued it back together and then let that dry for a while, about 8 hours after it dried. And then I wrapped my wire around the neck on each side real carefully, okay? So honestly, it's still drying, but it's dry enough for me to move on. So now I'll go ahead and glue my hourglass to my mirrors. I'm going to put some glue right on top of these blocks. So now I'm going to take some hot glue, put it on here to help it hold. And now I'm going to flip this over very easily and put this right in the center. You have the regular mirror here and then here, and when you flip it over you'll have the mirrors with the gold trimming, so either way it matches, okay? These are the sticks that I put together. I spray painted them gold, put some Mod Podge on my stick and then sprinkled it with gold glitter, and then I set the glitter with hairspray. So now I'll go ahead and completely seal it with some clear spray paint. Once I do that, I'll come back. Okay guys, because I made my neck shorter, I had to cut my little side pieces shorter as well. And I went ahead and leveled it and put tape to help hold this in place. Now I'm going to go ahead and glue these onto each side, but once the glue sets up, I'm going to reinforce the middle even more with some of my UV resin, and then I'll put the light on it and make it even stronger. I'm going to use some Gorilla Glue and hot glue to glue them in place. And now I'll reinforce these with some masking tape as well. So I'm going to let this sit for about 8 hours, and then I'll come in and reinforce the center with some UV resin, and then we'll be done. Moving on to DIY number 2, we will be using this cute little seahorse from Dollar Tree, and I'll leave the SKU in the description below. We will also need one of the square mirrors. I'm using one with the gold trim. I'm going to use another wooden block from Dollar Tree. There's the SKU, I'll leave it in the description. And we'll also need some of these tower blocks from Dollar Tree. So let's get these open. So what I want to do is go ahead and remove these little tabs. Alright, so next I'm going to create a base for my mirror, and I'll glue these blocks onto this mirror just like the ones I did in the first DIY. So now I will allow this to dry. While it's drying, I'm going to go ahead and spray paint this gold, and I'll spray paint this piece white. Oh, and I have a starfish. The starfish came in a pack of 3. I'll leave a SKU for it as well, and I'll spray paint one of these starfish gold. Okay, so this is what we have. Now again, we don't have it back here. So now I'll go back to the wooden piece that I had before. And I'm going to glue these 2 pieces together just like that. And now I'll just put both pieces together. And now I'll take my kettlebell and put it right behind here. I removed the label and then cleaned it with alcohol. Now I'll go ahead and put some glue here. And then sit this right in the center. I want this to sit more forward than back because later I'll come back in and glue my star right in the back. Now I'll just put my alcohol here to help hold this in place. So I'm going to let this sit up overnight and then come back. So now I think it's safe to move my kettlebell. Because of how it's made, all of these points will not be touching this board. These 3 touch, so that's where I need to add the glue. Okay, so I taped it on there. I'm going to allow this to dry a few hours, and then I'm going to come back and texturize the front and the back and add some gold mirror towel around here. So what I'm going to do now is put 3 rows of mirror towel on the sides and the front of my Seahorse base. I'm going to add a little bit of my Gorilla Glue. So now to finish this off, I'm going to take this old bowl and put some of this Dollar Tree caulk inside. And now I'll take a popsicle stick, put some right around my starfish. If you like that texture, you can leave it that way. I'm just going to lift the texture a little bit with some bubble wrap. I'll come back later and clean up the starfish. When you're happy with the texture, just leave it alone. Now I'll come in with my baby wipe and clean up the sides and the top. So now I'll put some on the back as well. Now I'm not going to put this glove all the way on. This is an old glove. I'm just going to use it to smooth this part out. Right along the side, like that. Then I'll just go ahead and smooth the rest of this. I'm not going to texturize it as much. This is the back, this is the side. I still need to clean it up, but I'm going to let it dry some more. Now the last thing I want to do is I want to put some rhinestone eyes on here. Normally I don't use Gorilla Glue with rhinestones, so I'm going to use it this time. Just a little. So I'll go ahead and let this dry. And of course I have 2, so I'll put them on display and let you see what they look like.